Francesca, welcome to my channel, Back to Art Girl. I'm so excited. This is my first practical video of my new experimental series of videos that I will be doing on acrylic pouring and resin art. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm coming to you from Sydney, Australia, and I'm just so excited to be here. I'm going to be trying to experiment with alternatives. Yes, I'm going to be using some professional products, but then I'm going to try and do some experimental hacks and maybe save some money. I'm going to try to be a little bit more efficient and environmentally friendly. Let's see how we go. That's the aim of this particular series, so wish me luck. Be kind. This is my very first video. I have never done acrylic pouring or resin art before, so I'm going to be discovering along with you. If you'd like to continue joining me for more videos to come, please subscribe and click on the bell so you can keep up with my videos and see what I get up to. Hopefully we'll create some art. So today, as I said, I'm going to be doing a very basic acrylic pour. I'm going to be experimenting between two different pouring mediums. I'm going to be using the professional Floetrol, which I know a lot of the acrylic pouring artists do use as a pouring medium. And then I am going to be experimenting also with the Elmer's school glue as the pouring medium, and I just want to find out if the professional one is better than homemade. There's a bit of a price difference, I guess, not really that much, but I bought this Floetrol from a paint supplier here in Sydney called paintaccess.com.au. This is the 500ml bottle. I'm just getting small quantities for the time being because I am just starting out and experimenting. The 500ml bottle cost me $20. And then I've found the Elmer's school glue at Big W, which I guess could be like a Walmart in the States. But here in Australia it's called Big W. This is a 225ml bottle and this was $6. They do come in larger bottles, but as I said, I'm just limiting my limits at the moment, my volume of product, just to see how they work, how they compare, and the results that they achieve. So as for the paints today, I have gone the professional paints for today. I think I just want to find out the difference between the pouring mediums. So I'm going to stick with the professional paints for the time being. This is an Australian brand. It's called Atelier, and I've just bought the black and white and just a few basic colors. So we've got a green or a teal actually, a blue, a yellow, and I've got a magenta, and then I might just mix them up and make some colors from those. I also wanted to mix a bit of silver into this composition, but Atelier didn't have a silver one, so I've gone with golden, and it's an iridescent silver. And then I am going to be using a couple of drops of silicone oil in the colors because I do like the cells. You can tell I haven't done this before, right? Yeah, okay, slowly getting used to all the terminology. But I like what I see online with all the other acrylic pouring artists using the silicone oil to achieve the cells. So I'll give that a go and see how we go there. So basically I'm going to go and mix my Elmer's school glue, and I've got my notes here, sorry. As I said, first time, so bear with me. I'm going to mix 60% Elmer's school glue with 40% water to create my pouring medium, and then I'll be using a 1 to 2 parts with the Floetrol, so 1 part Floetrol to 2 part paints, and then I'm going to be using a 1-to-1 part glue with the paints. So yes, I'll go and mix everything up and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have mixed my paints and I have put in the relative pouring medium that I wanted to use. And as you can see, I've labelled my cups with either an F or an E, the F for Floetrol and the E for the Elmer's school glue. So therefore when I'm pouring, I am going to pour on 2 separate canvases and I'll know which canvas has which pouring medium, so then we can compare. So with the colours, what I bought were just some very basic colours, and I have, however, added some and done some mixtures just to change them slightly. For example, I bought the teal in the Atelier. It's actually called Cobalt Turquoise Light, but I actually wanted a more of a green colour than turquoise. So I've obviously just added some yellow to it and it's created a bit more of a green. And I also changed the magenta, which I also added some yellow, and I've got some red. Now, just on first observation, the difference between the 2 pouring mediums, I guess, is that with the Elmer's glue, it tended to be a little bit more bubbly. Let's see if I can find one. Although they have been sitting for a few minutes now and they have settled down a little bit. But at the initial time when I was mixing them, the Elmer's glue pouring medium maintained the bubbles a little bit more, whereas the Floetrol has smoothed out and there's not as many bubbles in this mixture with the Floetrol. So that's pretty much the main observation. Now, how did I measure them? Trusty scales. I measured them by volume. And the Elmer school glue, which, by the way, I had mixed 60% Elmer's and 40% just plain tap water. I mixed 1 part glue to 1 part paint. And now, the last thing I'm going to do is just add a couple of silicone oil drops to all of the colours except the white. The white I'm going to be using as my base, and then I'll show you what I've done to get my canvases and all the other little supplies that I'm using. And speaking of which, what I'm trying to do is just be quite economic in everything basically that I'm using. So I'm trying to buy stuff that, if this experiment doesn't go well, I can still potentially use in my kitchen, or my kids can use for their school crafts. I bought just a party tablecloth, just one of those plastic tablecloths. I'm going to use it as a drop sheet. Now, reason being I'm using a plastic drop sheet is so that potentially I can reuse these colours. The colours are going to fall onto the drop sheet after they come off the canvas. I don't want to waste them. I'm trying to recycle and reuse as much as I possibly can. I got this idea from a US acrylic pour artist, and she lets her paints fall onto a drop sheet. She collects the paint from a pour and then makes another colour, which usually ends up being a grey or a brown, and she can use for future pours. So today I'm going to be doing that as well. In future I've got a couple of other ideas I'll do, but that's for another video. So today I've just bought a simple party tablecloth. It's plastic. It was $2 at the $2 shop. So that's going to be my base on my table today. The canvases that I bought were also from the $2 shop. They were $3.50, so shouldn't be called the $2 shop anymore. Anyway, never mind. So one's going to be poured with the Elmer's glue paints, and the other one is going to be poured with the Floetrol paints. So therefore then we can notice the difference. Again, I just bought some cheap art paint spreading knives from the $2 shop. This is $2.50. And I'm going to use push pins beneath my canvases just to raise them up a little bit, let the paint pour off, and that was $1 as well. Again, I know that's a lot, but my kids can use them for school. And then I just got some paddle pop sticks, also from the $2 shop. We've got some gloves, and that's it, I think, for today. Pretty basic. So let me set up my canvases and I'll be right back with you. So I've got my canvases all set up and ready to go. What I've done, just to distinguish between the two canvases so I know what I've poured on which one, I've colour coded them actually. I've used the pins that correspond to the product. If they stay, as you can see, they have all fallen off. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting these pins in, so if anyone has any suggestions on how to do this easily, please let me know. I did go looking for the bigger ones. I know a lot of the artists do use the bigger push pins, but I wasn't able to find any. So if anyone else here in Australia knows where to get them from, please let me know. However, I've colour coded my push pins, and I have also just put the corresponding letter of the product there on the base of the canvas. So these canvases are just stretched linen canvases, just as you would buy from any paint store, hobby shop. I got them from the $2 store, not very expensive at all. They're not very big because this is just experimental. This is my first time, so I didn't want to go all crazy. I'll fix this up, and then the last thing that I need to do to my paints is just add a couple of drops of the silicone oil to each one except the white, and then we can start pouring. So I'm just going to use a basic pouring method today. I am just going to pour a little bit of paint at a time into a larger cup, and then I'm just going to pour directly onto the canvases. So very, very basic methods at the moment. What I'm trying to achieve today is to find out whether a cheaper homemade pouring medium is enough and works just as well as the more professional product. So far so good. Colours are good. The paints look really the same consistency for both, pretty much. Yeah, slightly a bit thicker with the Floetrol, but ever so slightly. So it'll be really, really interesting to see over time how both products stack up. Because I'm going to let these dry, obviously, and then I'll do a take in about a week's time to compare them and see whether they've maintained the same look or they're different. I don't know. We're going to find out. Let me fix my canvas and I'll be back again. Okay, canvas is sorted. I'm about to add the silicone to the paints, so just 2 drops in each one. It's quite runny. Okay, all right. Maybe 3 to that one. All right, never mind. Okay, Excellent. I'm so excited to see how this turns out with the cells. So we're just going to do a quick mix with each one. Okay, I've mixed the silicone oil. I'm just going to move all the products aside and the paints. I want to just get two larger cups so I can start pouring the paints into them, and then we'll start pouring the canvases. Gloves on. And again, for my main cups, I have labelled them, and I've got an E and an F, so I know where the Elmer's glue is and where the Floetrol is. So I'm going to gradually start pouring all the colours in. Okay, this is going to be exciting because this is the very first time I have ever done anything like this, so you're going to witness me possibly make a few errors, so just bear with me. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Here we go. We're back, all ready to go. I've got my canvases sorted, we've got the colours in the cups ready to pour. Last thing to do now is just pour my white base in both. I have tried to make my canvases as level as possible so that those paints will go travelling evenly. Okay, let's scrape these paints down. The Floetrol doesn't seem to travel as easily as what the Elmer's glue does. Maybe because it's a tad denser, not that much though, but I hope that doesn't mean that that paints aren't going to pour as well. Anyway. We'll find out. Now I'm not going to be using any fancy spinning technique or anything like that today. I am just going to pour the paints, possibly in a circular motion, and then I'll just tilt the canvases. I think that's probably the best way to go. And I'll help the paint run that way. Okay, I might just leave that in case I need it later. So I'm going to start just trying to ease the white paint around a little bit. Yeah. The Elmer's is definitely more runny in consistency, more than what the Floetrol is. Just a little bit. Not very much, but just a little bit. Enough to notice, I guess. The Floetrol is holding its own a little bit more. Okay, hopefully that doesn't mean that I don't have enough paint. Okay, all right, I'm going to do one canvas at a time. I'll start with the Floetrol canvas. I am literally just going to let the paints flow out of the cup, and I might just do a little circular motion with my hand, but other than that, that's pretty much it. All right, okay. Okay, that looks fine. That looks like what I see everybody else doing. I like that, loving that silver. Really loving that silver. Might just move that swirl around. Ooh, looks like a worm. Okay. All right, I know that taking it back onto itself now, I'm going to get a whole different level of effects. Again, I'm just trying to maximize my paints. Okay, I might just hold that there. I'm just going to let that settle while I pour the Elmer's glue concoction. Here we go. Well, okay, definitely a lot runnier in consistency. Seems to be pouring a lot faster. Great shapes with the colours though. Already got some cells appearing. Very big in the Elmer's glue. So they've been sitting now a couple of minutes. They're spreading slowly, and I think this one is slightly not level. I just got my torch. I'm just lightly going to go over the paints, just slightly. This is just a simple kitchen torch. I do have a butane torch as well. Might get that later. Anyway, okay, looking good so far. So since this one is starting to drip off already, I'm going to just start tilting this one. So we've got those colours happening. Oh, look at those cells. Whoa. Would help if I didn't get them too close together. Okay. Not really getting very much of the silver in this one. Just guide it to the outside. Get it down to the corners. Okay. I'm losing a lot of the stripes that were in the center. I've got more of the yellow coming out. Uh-oh. I've lost a pin. Oh, okay. It's gonna have to stay there now. I need to hammer these pins in a little bit better next time. Okay, otherwise they're gonna cause me grief. Okay, let me tidy up and we'll tilt the next one. Yeah, okay. Fair try, I guess. Interesting. Bit too much yellow there in the center for my liking. But anyway, okay. Nice and shiny, which is what we want. Let's go the Floetrol. Wow, okay, pouring really steadily, quite even. Really nice. Wow, the Floetrol has really maintained all those gorgeous stripes. Wow. Ah. I guess it's also my technique. But the Floetrol seems to hold its original pouring shape better than what the Elmer's glue did. The Elmer's glue is kind of all gone, all a bit blobby. I've lost, I didn't put very much white in here, but what I did put in, you can't see much of it, but I am loving these gorgeous stripes. Okay. Wow, we've got some cells starting to form a little bit more with the Floetrol, a bit more even. They kind of look very blobby as well with the Elmer. Okay, and surprisingly I'm happy that, oops, I've lost another pin. Okay, definitely got to fix up the pin problem for next time. I'm happy that there's not that much runoff paint, so that means I'm not wasting too much paint at all. I'm really loving this Floetrol. It's very, very shiny. Yeah. Okay. Just help it on the sides a little bit more. Getting the dripping patterns. Okay. Next time I definitely do need to add a little bit more white or black, whatever base colour I decide to use. Okay, but that's really nice. Loving the Floetrol one. Loving this, loving these stripes. Beautiful. Looks like a river flowing down a mountain gorge. This one, I don't know what that one looks like. I'm still trying to decide. The Floetrol canvas has maintained, I guess the Floetrol paints have maintained their original pattern, pouring pattern, whereas the Elmer's glue has kind of gone all a bit blotchy and just spread without any of the stripy patterns remaining. Not many anyway. Maybe that could have been just my technique, but I am loving this. I'm also really digging that green that's come through, whereas here we've just about lost the green. There's all a bit of a blob of yellow here in the centre, and I'm wondering if that's got anything to do with the Elmer's glue not holding the flow of the paints. Maybe that's where the Floetrol stacks up a bit better. But we'll take you down for a close-up, and then what I'm going to do is come back in a week's time, let these dry, come back in about four days to a week's time and see how they dry. Good experiment. I am going to pack up and collect all of this remaining paint, and I'll see you in about a week again. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. Thumbs up, and catch you again soon. Thanks.